Hey guys, it's John with ReelBlue Custom Rods, and welcome back to part 3 on how to, the 5 easy steps to building a custom gaff. So just to recap, step 1 was, as you can see here, we were adding the hook. In this case, it's a Winthrop 3-inch hook, or gaff hook, if you will, and we were adding that to our Rain Shadow 63-inch gaff blank. The second step, as you can see here, was adding the shrink tube or our handle material, if you're not using shrink tube, to the gaff blank, if you will. And then now for step 3, what we're getting ready to do is go ahead and start wrapping some of our decorative wrap. So I've already done a part of the decorative wrap down a little bit lower on the blank for the sake of time. But now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you really the important part is, and that is how to wrap the gaff blank and the hook portion where we built this cone of epoxy. So really the first thing I want to do is I like to take a piece of tape, and I'm going to set a piece of tape down here. And that's really just going to give me my point that I'm going to come up next to with my thread. All right, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take my thread, and since we're going to, a couple of important things here. First, you notice I'm going to start working down here towards the end because we have this cone-shaped epoxy, if you will. I know it looks a little uneven, and that's okay, but I'm going to start down here because it's the low end and work up. It's easier to wrap and build upwards versus building downwards. So if I was working in this direction, there's a chance my thread will want to slide that way. But since I'm going to work up, any thread that wants to slide down will just slide down to the next one, or to the thread below it, if you will. And then trying to get a bite with this thread. And then the next thing, the thread that I'm using. So I'm using, as you can see, black, size D regular thread. Right, just regular thread, no color preserver or no NCP thread in it for this one here. Could you use that? Yeah, of course, if that's what you want. You can use really any thread you want. You could even use metallic thread if you like, to have that look there. I will use a piece of metallic thread, as you'll see here in a few minutes. But when I'm doing the wrap here, I like to use just regular thread, and a dark color of thread. Why? Because it's a little uneven here, and I can get a little sloppy in my thread wrapping as I'm trying to wrap this glue spot or this paste spot over to the top of the blank. I can get a little sloppy, and because it's regular nylon thread, when I apply my finish to it, it's just going to be the color of the thread. It'll just be black, right? If I was using color preserver, or if I was using NCP, non-color preserver thread, that means thread that's already been treated. If I was using that type of thread and it was a light color thread, you'd actually be able to see the different strands of thread if I had to make a crossover or anything like that. So again, I like to use just regular nylon thread when I'm wrapping the hook. So I think that's far enough to get started. Go ahead and cut that tag end off. Get a little slack in my thread here so it'll roll. And then all I'm doing, as you can see, is I'm just working up where that paste was at towards the blank, the gaff blank. And it can, like I said, it can get a little uneven at times, and that's okay. The key here is to use this dark thread and to make sure I cover every bit of the pro paste that's on here, right? I just want it to be black. I don't want, when I apply my finish, I don't want you to be able to see, the lighter colored paste in the back. So I'm just twisting that, like I said, just covering up that pro paste. I don't want any of that to shine through. I use my fingernail, or I can use my burnishing tool, whatever I like. just to make sure I cover that up. So it's pretty easy. You can even hear, and as you guys will see, this is probably a good spot to come back and hit it with a double over wrap, if you will. Like I said, I know I'm just smoothing out my threads with my burnishing tool. And I know it may look a little uneven, a little bumpy because of that paste, and that's okay. What will happen is, once we apply our finish, that stuff will level out and give it a real nice, clean, kind of conical look to it. So we're getting down. Just using my burnishing tool, just kind of move threads around. So we're getting down towards the base of the gaff where it connects to the gaff blank. And then we're just going to kind of come right up to that. And then I like to just keep wrapping. There we go. I like to keep wrapping. And then what I'm going to do is just kind of put my burnishing tool there. And then I have a spot that I want to go to that I've already marked up, which is right here. So I want to bring that thread all the way down. Go to this other burnishing tool. And so this is just going to help us, we got that paste in there, we got it nice and tight and secure, but we just want to, clean it up, make it look nice. So we do this wrap on it, but that wrap's going to help also reinforce that hook and just make that bonded, that point where it's bonded, where the hook goes in, just that much stronger, with the thread wrap, and then with your finish on top. And that's why, again, I like to double over wrap, just, extra strength. But also it'll help clean up and make sure I don't have any gaps in my thread through here. So I just got a ways to go, a little bit, not a ways, but just a little bit more longer to go. Again, I want to come to right here is my mark. And of course, if you wanted to come in here and integrate some thread and do some sort of decorative wrap, if you wanted to do an inlay in here, you could do that as well. It'd be easy to do. If you weren't doing a double over wrap, or if you were doing a double over wrap, you just do it on your over wrap portion if you're going to, tie an inlay into that. I don't want to have an inlay on here. I just want to have it black, but I will have some tag wrap. I'm backing it off a little bit. But I'll have some tag wraps at the end of it to help, tie into the color scheme of the gaff. Almost getting there to where I want to start coming back. Now this is a great example of when a power wrapper would come in handy. If I'm just doing a straight piece of wrapping, this would definitely be where a power wrapper comes in handy. Saves you a little bit of time. But there's something to be said for building something and wrapping it with your hand, right? right, almost there. I'm coming to right there. So I just got just a little bit left to go. Again, this is size D, regular nylon, black thread. All right. So I think I'm about where I want to be at. So now what I want to do, I want to come on the underside. I just want to pick the thread up a little bit and just kind of lay it in on itself. And now I'm starting my double over wrap, meaning I'm working back towards where I started with the thread. And I'm again doing this just to make sure I've got a good, I'm just reinforcing the epoxy work that I did, or the paste work, the adhesive work that I did on inserting the hook into the gaff blank. And then I'm also just kind of, going back over and covering up any spaces I may have created in the thread while wrapping it. I'm just going back. All right, getting there, going a little quicker this way. Just spinning this with my finger, holding it down. All right, and then all right, moving down to that conical piece, if you will, where I had my adhesive. Then I'm just going to come all the way down just before the end of that tape, where that masking tape is at. And I'm just going to stop. All right, I'll go ahead and cut that out. And just pull that tight. And then that's it. That's all you really have to do. Like I said, I'll come back and I'll remove this masking tape here. And then I'll come in with some tag wraps with a couple metallic colors. I'll add some tag wraps on here and back here on the back end. And then I will go ahead and lay down some finish on that. So here you can see some of the thread work that I've already done on this, right? So I've already gone over and basically, wrapped over my shrink tube a little bit. I've done my thread wraps here, and I've got my first coat of epoxy. And I just got to come back with a razor blade, knock out some tops of some bubbles, and then I'll come back over, do my second coat, and then put my decals on. So we're going kind of with the same color scheme here. This same color scheme here is what I'm going to try to go for at the tip of this gaff. So if you got a lot out of this video, go ahead and hit the like button. Let me know what you think. And feel free to share it with somebody you think that will get some value out of it. Again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. There'll be another video, the last video, number 4, of this small series on how to make a custom rod coming up. So until next time, check out this video here, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks again for watching. Bye.